Hello, Toku fans everywhere, and Zalome City if you're listening. Welcome to our first pilot podcast for Sentai Riders United. So, I am Thomas, aka the Toku Buster, aka Gaim / Shinken Blue, and I will be the host for tonight. Joining me is the wonderful Baron / Gokai Red, aka... Oh god, I hear echo. I hate hearing echo. Goodness, I hate echo so much.
The Otaku Blogger here.
Let's see here, I am Thomas, aka the Toku Buster, aka... Sorry for the muting and everything. I hate all the echo. I hate echo so much, but either way, we will start back up now that the echo is gone, because I absolutely hate echo. Anyways, keep going with this. This is our first time, so... Anyways, I will continue, so... we will keep going. We have the Otaku Blogger, aka Baron / Gokai Red, Sebi. Then we have... sorry for all the echo, so we will do CJ, who is Wizard / Kyoryuger, so you can introduce yourself. Sorry for the echo, there's a lot of echo and I don't know what's going on.
Nice to meet you all. Hope you enjoy what you're about to witness.
I have no idea why there's so much echo, it's driving me freaking nuts, so...
The only thing I can tell you is that echo happens. We will have to move past it.
Oh. Yep, I hear it again. Wait, I realized why the echo happened. I was playing the YouTube link at the same time.
Well,
yep, I'm a moron. I'm officially going to call myself a moron. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yep, this is the first time. Yes, pilot episode. Moron. Okay, continue. So we have me, we have Sebi, we have CJ. Now we're going to continue. No more cuts. Screw it. So we will now go on to Ryuki / Ninja Red Frogs. If I got that name right.
Hello everybody, Frogs here. Nice to meet you. Hope you enjoy the podcast.
Hey. Then we have Kabuto / Kiba Ranger, Bohong. Funniest name ever.
Hey guys.
And then lastly, we have Blade / Geki Violetto, Volt, as we call him.
Hello.
By the way, sorry for all the echo at the beginning. I made the amateur mistake of pulling up the YouTube link at the same time I was doing the Hangout, so I heard myself multiple times, and I was really confused what was going on, so you can call me a crazy man.
Hey, crazy man.
Well,
Yeah, you can call me crazy man for this podcast.
You had one job!
You did have one job.
Yes, I did have one job. And for the first podcast, this is my one job, and I make the amateur mistake.
Roll with it.
We'll
We'll
roll
tell
with
you
it.
this much. We'll excuse it this one time. You do it again, however, you're no longer the host.
Yep. Oh, also, I forgot to do this because I'm Gaim. I had to.
Alright.
So, let's get on with this bad boy. So,
Trying to knock the door down.
first,
Here I am
before we
yelling and
keep going,
screaming at you, and you won't do a thing
we
about it.
will, how do you put it? We will, okay, never mind. Someone was talking. Anyways, unmute yourself, CJ. I muted him because someone was talking, but not anymore. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go and introduce ourselves and talk a little bit about ourselves just so we can all kind of be on the same page. So, I am Thomas. I'm just in general. I am just a Toku fan. I haven't had as much experience with Toku. I've been a fan of Toku for maybe 2.5, 3 years, probably more. But I've been a really big fan of Toku, and I have a big collection and stuff, and I've always had an admiration for the genre, and it's just something that I've always enjoyed. So I've always wanted to set up a podcast with people and be able to do all these great and wonderful things, and here we are. So no more introductions for me. Let's go on to Sebi.
Hello guys, I'm Sebi. When I was little, I started off as the Power Ranger fan, but by 4th grade was when I started to become introduced into Sentai, as well as Japanese entertainment in general, and since then I've been a Toku fan for maybe almost 7, maybe 8 years. It's been a long time, but I admire Tokusatsu a lot, and, I hope to be on the same level as other famous people, whether it be YouTubers or bloggers or, even you guys. I'm glad to be part of this podcast. Some of you might have remembered me from the Toku Warriors, and this is kind of like a spin-off series that I'm part of, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this one goes.
Okay, so let's move on now to CJ.
Well, as I said, I'm CJ. I've actually been a fan of Super Sentai for ever since Magi Ranger came out, or ever since Mystic Force came out. That's actually what caused me to realize that there was an alternative counterpart, and the wonderful explosion that happened of my collection going from this big to this big over what seemed like overnight was just wonderful. I'm a very laid back person. It takes a lot to make me mad, but I'm one of these people, once you make me mad, I'm not a, podcast. I do Toku reviews of toys of the toys that I have and whichever ones I can get. But doing a podcast is actually a new thing for me to do, so this is going to be interesting to see how this works out. So with all of that said, once again, I hope you enjoy it, and now we move on to everyone else.
So now we move on to the oddly named Frogs.
Hello, everybody. My name is Frogs. If some of you have probably seen me before, I am a new YouTuber. I'm part of the YouTube channel called Let's Talk Toku. It is a YouTube channel dedicated entirely to Tokusatsu. So basically, Super Sentai, Power Rangers, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Godzilla, etc. Whatever is live action special effects, we will talk about it. Like anything. Even the Avengers if we have to, if we run out of material. So, how I got to Toku, I guess Power Ranger, I am a die-hard Power Rangers fan. I have an SPD poster behind me. I love Kamen Rider, of course, too. Look at this double. Check out this sexy double right here. I got the ToQgers. You probably can't see it because of the glare, but they're sexy as hell, too. Been watching Power Rangers. I actually just started. I got into Toku December of last year. First rider was Double. Double Decade. Then my first Sentai was ToQger, and now, boom, here I am. Big toy collection. Love it. Next.
Okay, so now we move on to the even more oddly named Bo Hong.
Okay, so I got into Tokyo in 2006 when Kabuto aired, and yeah, from then on I started watching a bunch of other rider shows, even stuff before Kabuto, and then that got me into looking into Super Sentai, where I started off with Deku Ranger and then started watching a bunch of other Sentais after that, and been a Power Ranger fan since I was a kid, so it's kind of like my childhood being reborn now. And and now I'm collecting a bunch of figure arts too, mostly Kamen Rider figure arts, and recently just bought a couple of new Power Ranger figure arts as well. And I'm also the cameraman for Let's Talk Toku.
He sure as hell is.
Yeah, working with Frogs, so check that channel out too.
We'll love you forever.
And then let's finally move on to our last member, Volt.
Hello, everybody. My name is Volt, and let's speedrun this. Watched Power Rangers since I was a kid. About came up to, let's say, Overdrive, and then I found out about Bokenger through YouTube, and then I found TV Nihon through, of all things, Transformers Galaxy Force. And from there, I watched as much Toku as I could. I started loving the shows as much as I possibly could when I started watching Geki Ranger and Blade. And now I have basically just been a humongous fan of this show or series for a good few years now. And so now I'm here to share that excitement with all of you.
By the way, I love your shirt.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the EVs. Very nice.
Oh, it's not just that. Dark Side of the Moon, baby.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's Dark Side of the EVs.
Dark Side of the EBs. Oh my god. Goodness. Anyways, so now that we got our introductions out of the way, we will do our main part of the podcast. We have here, just so you know, we have two main segments of the podcast. We have the news of the week, which will cover the news of the week. Thank you, Captain Obvious, aka me. And second, we will cover our main
Isn't that
course, which
Captain's
is the
pipe?
topic that has to do with whatever we're talking about. And in this case, it is of superhero time of 2014, which is, of course, ToQger, Gaim, and then the little bit of Kyoryuger we'll talk about. So let's get on with the news. So we'll go from most recent to back to the that would be the 22nd, I believe, 21st or 22nd on that Sunday. So we'll go from there to there or whatever. So some of them is kind of spoilerish, but some of them isn't. I'll tell you which ones are spoilerish or not. These first ones, since they're having to do with the movie and then with Gaim, probably are. So I'll have an annotation somewhere once this live hangout is done of skipping the spoilerish parts. If you want to just go to the main course or do whatever you want, then we'll talk about that. But we'll talk about some of the articles, and I will send over the articles as well to the people in the chat. So our first article, it seems, are some scans from the Gaim movie that's going to be coming out called The Great Soccer Battle, The Golden Fruit Cup Struggle, which has some...
Alright, I'm sorry. That is the most ridiculous
wow.
writer movie name ever. But
I think it's just tying
I
it
do
in
have
with,
to
like,
agree.
Cup or something.
All right. Right out of the gate, going through these, I see this fire horse thing, and I'm just... All I see is Funsaiki from Judo.
I think it's a unicorn.
Yeah,
Now.
Yeah,
that looks like a unicorn.
that's a unicorn.
it's a unicorn.
Fire horse, fire unicorn. Same.
Can I just say that, I think the idea of black Jimba arms is pretty cool, and looking forward to seeing how that plays out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Looks like we also have some scans of not only Kamen Rider Mars, not Malice, but Mars, and also Mars, in my opinion, totally badass. Totally. I love his design. His helmet is awesome. He's like the super badass version of Baron in a different way, though, the evil version. But
Yeah, it has this
yeah, I can
royalty
kinda see it.
crown type thing going on.
What's the difference between Mars and Malice? Which one's which?
I don't.
Mars uses the golden apple lock seed, while Malice uses the silver apple lock seed.
No, actually no. It's Malice and Mars. Those are two different. They're two different romanizations of the same word. Malice is something that has to do with an apple, but Mars is the god of war. But the actual romanization translates out to Mars. So he's not called Kamen Rider Malice. He's called Kamen Rider Mars. The silver one is Kamen Rider Kamuto.
Yeah.
Hell.
Yeah, I know. Kind of weird.
Alrighty then.
I do want to also point out in one of these skins something that's probably going to be the weirdest fight we've ever seen.
Gaim Donguri arms.
Oh no, not even that. But the Gaim Durian arms.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know how all that's gonna play out.
Yeah,
Like we've seen Gaim with banana arms before, but
yeah,
Dorian Arms is going to be a very interesting one, I will say.
yes.
and then the last scan I'm going to talk about for me is the Baron. I can do bike flips.
That is
Yeah.
kind of funny.
Yes. He thinks he's all badass and all, and really, one miscalculated move, and there goes his head. You know.
But it's Baron. It'll be fine.
This is
What I have to
true.
ask though is why in the living heck does he still have his Naito Rusu armor banana arms as it's more officially called? Instead of using his lemon, like he has both the lemon energy and he has the banana, and I'm like, why do you have both? Why not just use the one that's more powerful?
You gotta keep in mind, this movie is alternate universe, so there might be a possibility that he never got the Genesis driver.
Well, no, he has it because in some of the scans it's showing him in the energy arms.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Actually, I've
My opinion is
also
it
remembered one scene in an episode of Gaim where he was fighting Sigurd, and one minute he was banana arms, and then he switches to Genesis mode.
He has both of them. Personally, I'm glad to see Banana back because I really think Banana just looks better.
Agreed.
I like Lemon better on Baron.
I would
doesn't
like
matter.
Lemon better if I didn't look at it and I couldn't see exactly how they cut the Duke armor up to put it on Baron.
I think also at the same time, and this is another one of those opinion matter things, if you ask me. I think the main reason why and it's not even really anything that's really explained, but the reason why the armor looks so similar to his banana arms and not like Ryoma's banana or Ryoma's lemon energy arms is probably because of a personality thing. I know it's a very far stretch of the imagination to think, but it is also a possibility to think of, just because these drivers do become specific to their rider. Well, let me rephrase that.
They're
Sengoku.
bonded.
The
Sengoku
Sengoku
drivers.
ones do. The Sengoku
Yeah.
drivers became specific to their person. So maybe hypothetically there was residual energy that caused the lemon version of Baron to look similar to his banana version. I don't know. There's many possibilities.
I agree and I disagree, but the only part where I disagree is because look at Zangetsu Shin. Michi has it. Takatora doesn't have it anymore. The suit didn't change, but I mean, I don't know.
It's a weird thing, but it's
Yeah.
just
I agree, but I disagree. It's strange. They didn't talk about that ever. But yeah.
I actually thought of something. I was looking up stuff on Tumblr actually, and I think I found like this one GIF of like people from the cast talking, and I think one of them actually said to what is it, Kaito, that the reason why that lemon juice actually keep bananas from spoiling or something like that. So that's the reason why they picked lemon, or something like that. I have no idea. I could probably be wrong. I
thought it was like a last-minute decision for the producers, because like they didn't plan to have like Baron use the.
That's why I thought it was like such a logical progression. But we'll get that when we get into Gaim specifically.
Well, yeah, but it's all. You can also see how last minute the decision was by looking at the Baron lemon suit, because if you look at the back of the helmet, it's very clear they just chopped Duke's helmet in half and slapped it on the back of Baron.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But yeah, I'm pretty excited for this movie. This seems kind of cool. It's just going to be interesting to see all the different things that happen. And I've also heard, if this is kind of spoilerish as well, episode 37, I think, is 36. No, 37 it is. 37 is going to tie into the movie somehow. So, yeah.
We'll see.
But that actually
Yeah.
goes into next news, which is really spoilerish if we're getting into the territory of people who haven't seen Gaim. But so we'll skip this. So if you haven't seen Gaim and you don't want to be spoiled and you don't know what's happening in Gaim, skip this.
I think
But-
if you haven't
Run!
seen Gaim, you should have skipped the whole section.
Run for the hills, man!
The whole section, whatever.
Run away.
Let's skip that last whole thing because I said something pretty big about the Michi and the Takatoda thing. That's
Yeah.
pretty big.
Well,
Yeah,
if,
and
if you
that
go by the official spoiler rules, that's kind of in safe harbor right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. But either way, point being, this may be a bit spoilerish for people who haven't seen Gaim, so if you want to skip this, skip this, but if you don't, just go at your own risk. I sent all the people in the Hangout the link to the article, and this is an article from JA Fusion about Kamen Rider Gaim, Brother versus Brother. And this is going to be the showdown that we have been waiting so long for, being that in the episode
Finally.
36, Takatoda is
Yes.
finally going to fight Michi. Yes.
Oh, this
Oh,
It's
finally.
though.
But now we all know that that a certain person needs to get some ass kicking in against you know who. Please
Yes.
pardon my language, but you know someone needs to have some words and some butt kicking with some Michi too.
Yep.
You know, and I hope it happens. You know, kind of spoilerish if no one has seen it. I think 30, whatever the next episode is going to be of Gaim. 35, thank you. I think that actually happens. I don't
No.
quote me.
Wait, what? Or what happened?
35, the episode is titled,
Michi's arc.
no, I believe the episode's
No, the
title
next
is,
episode is Michi's arc.
Next episode is Michi's arc. Episode 36 is the one where Takatoda's gonna fight Mitsuzane.
But what I'm saying is I think 35 is the one where
where
finds out
where-
about Michi.
because we saw in the previews that
yeah,
and then there's the scans. There's the scans, and it's from the exact same episode because he's wearing the same suit and stuff. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I've
And
been
let's-
wanting Kota to find out for a while.
Yeah, Michi's gonna get a lot of hate from Kota, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
man,
time,
dude.
Let's see.
Kota's gonna
This is
find
gonna be a
out.
fight.
He's gonna be like Michi. Why? He's gonna cry a little bit, and he's gonna kick his ass.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then Takatona's gonna
Oh,
come
yes.
out of nowhere. He's gonna kick his ass too.
Well,
this
I
is
actually
Hey,
saw
the
an
brother has to keep him
interview.
in check, you know?
I had actually seen somewhere where a group had actually interviewed the person who plays Michi, and they asked him flat out how he felt about doing a complete 180, being a positive person for Kota, and then turning around to being a complete, please pardon my language on this, but a complete asshat and doing the way he's doing. And the person actually said, he enjoyed it. He actually enjoyed being, going from being the hero to being the villain. And I'm just like, do it. If you enjoy it, do it.
I absolutely agree, and I saw that article, and I was like, that actor is awesome. I just wish I could remember the freaking name of that guy.
Mahiro Takashi.
oh no.
Have you seen his Febreze commercials? They're hilarious.
Yes!
Oh god.
my
Those are like half the reason he's probably gone insane at this point.
Oh my god, those are awesome!
These Febreze commercials here in the U.S. are already bad enough. We don't need the Japanese making them worse than they already are.
They were the best.
I have to go on Toku Central now and see if I can look up the Febreze. I saw a Febreze commercial with Michi in it, and I want to see if it's in there because it would be awesome for you guys to see that. But I'll send you guys that after the podcast. But I just want to see if I can find it.
Have you
Hey,
seen all three
I have
parts?
a suggestion with all
What?
of these links that are getting sent, just so that everyone has it that's watching this podcast. Why don't we put them in the link? Put the links in the description below
We'll
it.
do
That
that as
way
well.
they have access.
Like some
Yes, we'll definitely do that. if
Oh,
I can,
good.
if we can, if I can find a link to the Febreze commercial, because I can't.
Well, but
I don't care. We'll do that after the
Later.
podcast. We'll do that after.
Yes.
Probably the best idea.
Move on.
So
Go.
it's just, this is us going on a tangent because that's what we do. But
Welcome to
yeah,
Toku
let's see. From what I'm hearing, also, it's that in this week's 35th episode, coming this Sunday, Roshuo begins his invasion by opening cracks around the world and unleashing hell. While
by the
Kota-
way, Rosho is a girl.
No. Ridgeway is a girl. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit.
Wait.
Roshuo's the big king. Roshuo's the big white guy who's wanting to resurrect the queen.
Oh, wait. What the
Yeah.
hell? Damn. That's
Yeah.
these names, though.
Yeah, Roshuo's the king guy. Ridgeway's the green one who likes the shiny lights and everything. Damushu's the one who got destroyed by Kiwami arms, who was with the damn monkeys guy. That guy. Let's see. Dudu Onshu was the one who took the fall for Michi in episode 33 because Michi's a bastard like that. And then what is his name? Gosh darn it, what's his name? Grish or something like that. I have to look it up on the wiki. Gosh darn it. Good thing I have the wiki pulled up. I love you, wiki. I love you so much. Let's see.
It's all not super important.
I know. I'm just me being a
It's Thomas being Thomas. If you know
It's
who
me
Thomas
being-
is, yes, you understand.
Greenshot. That's his name. Greenshot.
Yeah, that's it.
Also in scans, there's also another overlord that's going to be introduced, one that was just introduced named Shinmuguran, if I'm pronouncing that. I don't even know why these overlords are appearing, because honestly, I think Demushu, Dosho, and Ridgeway on their own are good enough. We don't need any more minor overlords. I think the major overlords are good enough.
I just want to bring out how earlier on it's all, these overlords are so elusive and rare, and now they're sprouting up like weeds.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, such is the knowledge of Ryoma Sengoku.
Yeah, when I saw there was more overlords, I was like, what the hell?
Or
Where did
Kota's
this
gonna
guy
be
come
an
from? There's more?
overlord.
I mean,
Yeah.
you think that there's only two, the Demushu and then the green one, and then you find out that there's the king, and now we're finding out there's all these others. It's like, okay, wait a minute. I thought these were supposed to be minor people that play big parts. No, now they're sprouting up like daisies.
Yes. I like daisies, though, sometimes.
You like daisies. I don't, okay? They cause my allergies to go bonkers, okay?
Good point. Anyways,
On the overlord.
so
Roll on to the
just to end this article part, who's looking forward to Michi getting his butt kicked by Takatora or Kota?
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
I swear he
I hope
has
they
been-
play the biggest douche in the universe song.
Oh no,
during the
no,
fight.
no, 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 no. You're not making South Park jokes. You're not making South Park jokes.
No South Park. No. While he might deserve it, no.
Or jerk of the week either. No jerk of the week either.
While he
Okay.
he deserves jerk of the year, but we're not going there.
We're not gonna go there. Anyways, next article is for something not Gaim related. We have scans from the ToQger movie, Galaxy Line SOS. And it looks like they're going to be in weird costumes and stuff. Looks like Ichigo has claws and then Nigo has the wing.
So this is like the Go Busters thing.
I don't know. This
Yeah.
isn't like a V cinema. This is from the actual movie, so it's kind of weird.
I know, but I'm talking.
The weirdest one-
plot is like.
Yeah, the weirdest one though is Pink. Pink is the weirdest.
Okay. I
Panda suit.
I need to ask this. How many of you have seen the Nicolas Cage movie where he goes to the island of women and dresses up as a bear and runs up and
Wicker
fucks
Man!
everybody?
Oh my god!
Please let that happen.
No! Why are we talking about the Wicker Man? No!
I have not seen this. I've never even heard of this movie. What?
The bear suit! The bear suit! Oh my
Only worth it
god!
for that one moment. Everything else is just not really worth it.
Nah.
But that's what Pink reminds me of.
Yes, I'm
As
with
for what's
Bolt
going-
on this one.
As for what's going on here, I'm seeing. So the wings that Nego has are straight up ripped off the Gao Yellow suit.
Either
Yeah.
Gal Yellow
Yeah,
or
probably.
off of Jetman. One of the
Jetman, that's
two.
my first thought. Thank you, CJ. You are amazing.
Also,
didn't even think of that.
the claw gloves that Yellow has have to also be from Gao Ranger's closet because
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yakuju
that one I
Sentai,
do have to
ToQger.
agree.
Yakuju Sentai, ToQger.
Ha 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 ha.
And we just crocodile. That's real life
Okay,
from,
so I have
Kyoryuger.
I have to make this argument, and y'all can disagree, agree, I don't care. But after 37 years, however many years, that, Super Sentai has been going on since the 70s.
39, I think.
No,
Thank you.
38.
38.
Okay, thank you. I was thinking somewhere along that lines. I was thinking 37 or 38. Is it any shock that they have pretty much run out of ideas and they have had to come up with something from an old series to utilize? I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking it's straight up Gal Ranger again. What the heck?
I think
Well,
they're just
thinking
doing it for the
Gobuku Sentai,
movies.
but yeah, it's like
Well,
Power Rangers.
ever since ToQger, they've been doing a lot of when the movies pop up, we get homages and stuff to the.
But I want to say those, if this is what it's going to be like during the movie, I can't imagine what the V cinema is going to be like. Oh
Oh,
god.
gee,
oh god.
when we talk about superhero time,
Yeah.
I'll
Also,
cover-
what does everyone think of Safari Gao? The robot, the white robot that with the lion chest and everything?
I think from what I have actually seen of it before, and I've actually seen a scan of what the toy is supposed to look like, the fact that it's going to have pretty much 3 modes is actually pretty awesome. Because you're going to have the train mode, then you're going to have the robot lion form, and then you're going to have actually Safari Gao, which is the big robot. That's actually going to be cool, if you ask me.
Yeah, I kind of actually agree with that.
Man, when I look at this thing, all I can see is Magi Shine's train mech.
Yes, I see it honestly a combination of Magi Shine's Trabaleon, that's the name of it, Trabaleon. I see it as like a combination of it, and just because it does have the lion and the lion formality, somewhat Magi Legend, the lion aspect of Magi Legend.
I agree with that, actually. He does. He looks more like Magi
When
Legend.
I see this
than
thing,
White Lion.
It's mostly in the head, but
When I see this thing,
the
I'm
chest
just like-
section is very Trevelyan.
So when I
Yeah.
see this thing, I'm just like, I want it.
Agreed.
Meow, please.
I have
Oh God, damn it, man! Cat, really? First episodes, and you have to drop cat puns.
Yeah.
No, not meow. Neon!
Meow.
Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Okay.
Oh, Noah's leaving.
No,
Go,
don't quit on us, no!
Wait a minute. Jafar, staff after you. Don't you do it. Okay, we'll be nice. We'll stop.
Okay, and let's see. I have 2 more pieces of news that are like Japanese stuff that's related. We have ToQger. We have images finally of Tokurokugo's mecha Build Dio. And I will send the link out for that and the people in the podcast here right now.
I'll say this about Build Dio. It actually doesn't look bad in the show.
No.
In the show, it doesn't look bad,
Yeah,
and
it's not blocky at all. You know, like a Tokyo. Yeah.
yeah, but you know what? Have you guys seen the
Have we seen the
Cho-
what?
the image of the what is it? What is it? The combination between Choro Tokyo and Bill Dio. Has anyone seen that yet?
I
No,
have
but
not.
I do kind of want to leave some of this as a surprise.
Yeah,
Myself.
I'm
Don't
with
wanna-
him.
Aw,
Yeah,
it looks terrible though.
What?
Well, let's save the terrible for later, okay? I mean, let's at least save that to be a surprise. But while we are on the subject of the Toku Mecha, you know, personally speaking, I like the way the Toku Mecha is, but at the same time, you know, there's a problem with it, just because it doesn't have the uniformity that other mechas have had. And I think part of that is because of the way that the legs and the shoulders are formed.
Well,
It doesn't look like a body should fit in the suit that is used for it, because it doesn't look. There's no definite way of telling. Okay, wait a minute. Where's the hips? Where's the waist? Where's the, where's everything supposed to be? Whereas
it's just, like, all
Diesel
really
actually
wide.
fixed that problem, but that's just a personal thing.
I think it's just all really wide, so that it looks like there's nothing there connecting. So it looks like you can't tell between the human's body and the actual like costume. So that it all connects with one piece, so that it looks like an actual robot.
Well,
possibly.
yeah,
Again, I have comments similar to this when we get to the little bit of the Kyoryuger stuff we're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Because I still think that Kyoryuger is one of the ugliest. Bad.
oh, yeah. What, Kyoryuger?
Yep.
No, I think Tokyo beats that. In
Well,
like ugly
it's-
I do have to
Not
agree.
angrily, we'll do it now. It's like when you look at Patera Raidano or Plezuo or Gigant Brachio, they're all nice, like crisp cut and clean. And then they combine onto Kyoryuger and they just look terrible.
Yes. Okay, I
Yeah.
can kind of see that, because
I
I
think,
actually
like-
have those.
I really hate. I just hate it when Kyoryuger combines with things because he drags the overall silhouette down.
Yeah.
And, like
And
on
in
his
terms of-
own, he's kind of okay, but when like you get to Gigant Kyoryuger, it. Oh.
We won't even talk about the toy version of that. I mean,
Oh no!
I'm sorry. Mm.
I've seen that. It's the biggest, bulkiest thing ever. It's
Oh, it is. I mean,
it's
that
like
thing is
this. It's this
ridiculous.
wide, this fat, this tall. It's
Uh-huh.
just, it's a perfect cube.
It's huge. Okay, Gigant Kyoryuger, the toy. Not only is it extremely huge, it's also, and it makes me wonder if it's just my particular versions that I have, or if it's across the board, if anybody else has had this problem. But the problem that I have is that the clasps don't want to stay clasped. The four that you actually clasp into the back of Kyoryuger, of the Bragio, to make it into Gigant Kyoryuger, they don't want to hold. Ever so often, if I just barely even move it, it just falls apart. And it's like, really?
I think I've heard that from some other people as
I'm
well.
glad I'm not the only one that's having that issue, if that's the case. Just because, I mean, don't get me wrong. Japanese toys are, they are wonderful. Our American toys now, they pale in comparison to what Japan gets. But at the same time, make the clasps a little bit tighter to where, yes, it's a little more difficult to get it plugged in.
Yeah.
But it won't fall apart. I mean, that's my biggest issue. I don't want it falling apart, because when I'm doing my reviews and I'm having to constantly pause it and then restart it because pieces are falling off every which way we go, that's a problem.
Yeah,
no,
I think this is a testament to that. I
Yeah,
love this toy.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
how far off the path are? Oh wow. Okay, I think it's time this tangent went back onto the path.
I agree.
Yeah, we went from talking about ToQger and now it's about mechas. And,
Yeah, but hey, this is what the podcast is for. This is our first time, so screw it. We're gonna do whatever we want, as long as we're having fun. As long as we're having fun, then
This is where you get the fudge ups out.
Yes, and technically, everything that we are talking about is within the scope of Superhero Time 2014 because it's all mecha and stuff that are of this year. So we're clear, technically.
Are we actually on Superhero Time 2014 yet?
we're not on. We're still on News of the Week because we actually still have 2 more things to go over. Funny enough, and then we'll get. And I know it's taken a bit longer. But the reason I'm adding in 2 more articles is because I want to do something a little bit more unconventional, and we usually talk about Tokusatsu that's from Japan. It's a Japanese thing, but we've also heard some news of 2 other Tokusatsu series, one coming from Indonesia and the other coming from Korea. I'll first talk about the one that was the newest in the series of the one from Indonesia, which is Bima Satria Garuda X, which is new, looks like a new series from that, and he just released some new forms, and they've been doing press conferences and stuff, so I just wanted to send an article over for that, and I just want to get your thoughts on these forms, because...
Okay, right off the bat, I see Tajador, I see Tajador, I see freaking Kiwi / Gatakiriba, and then I see Kutotira.
I see Kuga all the way.
That blue form to me screams Deno wing form.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, agreed.
That blue one screams a combination of Dino wing form and Meteor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that. I really wish I could see the Earth mode, or is
the green one?
No, the one up top.
Oh, Earth mode.
No, that one is actually the one that's to the left. That's the one with holding the big.
Why do they have 2 Earth mode posters? That's stupid.
One's a standalone.
That's terrible.
No, one's a cardboard cutout. The other one's a picture.
This comes as a massive testament to how much. How to put this? Things outside of Japan put so much work into their suits. Because I don't know if any of you guys have seen the, I believe it's Chinese, but the Armor Hero series.
Yeah,
yes, I've heard of that.
I've heard of
Their suit, more specifically, the suit for Armor Hero Emperor is so amazing. I'm gonna see if I can find this, but
no, I can find it.
Oh my lord, you are not kidding.
Holy crap!
Yeah, you aren't kidding.
Oh my god.
It's like the most intense thing I've ever seen.
Holy!
Okay, this armor looks a lot like Garo.
It's like
Garo times 20.
No, Garo did like a fusion dance with Gosei Knight because that computer seems amazing.
I love it too.
Oh goodness! Is he riding a dragon? He is riding a dragon right now.
Oh yeah, no, that's like.
Oh hey, that makes it even better. Bring on the dragon.
That's
awesome.
The tamest thing he does, but
yeah. Anyways, though, so we have the stuff for that, which honestly, the forms remind me very much of Kuga, even though it should be like where the bow gun thingy should be in the hand of the green one, then there should be, instead of an axe, a staff that should be in the blue one, and then, but they got, they got Mighty and Titan form down, color-wise, weapon-wise.
It fit for Kuga like that because of what the forms represented. Dragon had the rod because, well, when you think of a dragon, you think bow staff a lot. But here he's representing Earth, so an axe, like that axe or hammer or whatever it's supposed to be fits him really well.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see where this goes.
This really does look like O's and Wizard had a baby. They made
Yes.
Schema.
Yes.
Yes, and
I
then
And then
Oh.
decided to have a love child with
Meteor.
And,
Meteor.
With Meteor and Ryugen.
Oh man, this is going uncomfortable. And then you had what was the next one that you said we had?
And the next one is actually, we have Indonesian, then we have a Korean one who is actually being headed by Koichi Sakamoto.
I got the
Oh.
Gunblade.
I've heard of this.
I've heard
this
about
actually
that.
popped up on my Facebook.
Man,
Yeah.
this
That guy looks ugly. Let me tell you right now. He looks ugly.
it,
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Well,
Well,
let's
considering
see.
how Korea doesn't usually have their own Tokusatsu series, as they do dub Sentai, Kamen Rider, and some other Tokus, it'll be interesting to see and how Koichi Sakamoto pins this down. And it'll be funny, too, that he's doing this around the same time Kyoryuger will be airing in South Korea soon. So,
Well, also look at it
Um.
like this. I mean, look at the beginning of superhero time that we had here. You know, look at the way that the suits and all looked back then in the 70s. So for this to be their startup series in a classification of Tokusatsu, it's not bad looking. I mean, by our standards that we have now, it looks horrible. But looking at it from the aspect of this is their first Toku-esque series, this is actually a good looking suit if you keep that in mind.
I don't know. The color scheme just throws me off quite a bit there.
He looks like if Shin Kamen Rider, like the gill looking guy.
Yeah.
If him and Zolda and the Green Beetleborg had a baby.
Wow!
oh geez.
Oh, okay.
I also realize we're talking about visual mediums while we're on a kind of visual podcast, so I'm gonna try and fix this up by doing a little bit of magic.
Okay. But
Work your magic.
I'm actually for the people who either aren't looking at the article or just people who want to listen, and the people in the podcast, I'll actually read the little show story and then in the Koichi Sakamoto ad, because this is a new, I just wanted to see what you guys think of the story and what it says. Okay, Gunblade is the tale of the extraordinary Gunblade Team, quote-unquote, a 6-member special missions unit assembled to protect and defend humankind against the evil Dr. Dexter and his supercomputer, Olympus. Seeking assistance to carry out his diabolical plan to destroy the Earth, Dr. Dexter resurrects an ancient destructive clan, Gothic, who have been sealed away for evil-doing. By the way, in parentheses, I'm reading this all dramatically because I love reading dramatic things. It's hilarious that way. Now with the threat of humanity becoming extinct, the Gunblade Team must stop Dr. Dexter from destroying the Earth. Equipped with the GB drive, a special smartphone-type device, Gunblade members can use its applications to transmit high-tech weaponry, assist in a variety of attack skills, garner protection by an impenetrable shield, and even transform into a special armored suit.
Wait, just what? All 6 of them together? Are they one?
I have no idea. It doesn't clarify. I'm just reading what it said.
Either it's going to be like it's either going to be like Power Rangers or Super Sentai, where they're each individually a form, or it's going to be something like that. And I cannot remember the name of it, but it's an old cartoon on Cartoon Network. Well, not really an old.
Symbiotic Titan?
Yes! Symbionic Titan. That's
that
it.
show is fantastic. Alright, I think we should move on to the main course.
Yes.
Sorry about me stretching out this news of the week. So now let's finally get on to the main course, because it's the main course. We just went through the appetizers, now for the entree. And the entree is going to be...
Sounds wrong.
Yep. But you know what's worse? The entree is gonna be fruit.
Oh God.
My body is ready.
Hey, don't say no. Just let more, man.
Alrighty, that just made it so much worse. Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
I love Kota's derp faces so much, so I just tried to replicate it as much as possible.
Sorry, I don't know if y'all can see this, but hi. Oh my God.
Okay,
Oh,
now
Lord.
let's get on with the main course. So we are going to talk about superhero time of 2014. So let's first go on to the Rainbow line and talk about the newest Sentai that just aired, that has been going on for only 17 episodes. So there's not as much we can say about it, but we will be talking about Resha Sentai ToQger. So let's see. Is there a specific order? Does anyone want to go in, or
I'll
do you want
go
me to?
first.
Okay, you can go
Um,
first.
So this show is one of those shows where you don't know if it's good or not because it is so weird and crazy that you're all like, "Am I watching something that's good, or am I watching something that's so terrible that it happens to work with itself because it's so bad?" I like it because I just don't understand it. Like, what in the actual world is happening? I'm still not sure if there's a story in there yet. I'm still trying to look for that story. There's something going on. Like, they showed like the ending of the first episode with the death thing and the such, and I'm like, what? And then they talk about it like once more, and then we're all we get is imagination. Right?
Imagination fixes everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I got a note to hit on that. I agree with Adrian, but at the same time, I also somewhat disagree in the effect that I actually can somewhat see the story in it. In
I
that,
agree.
in that, and this may just be my interpretation of it. I could be wrong, but the way that I see that the story's playing out in the effect of it's pretty much along the lines of we all in ourselves have something that we like or that we're passionate about or stuff that we just do. And in this series, these shadows are taking it away, whatever it is that we enjoy, be it food or they're doing something to cause pain and misery to basically make themselves stronger. Now, with the introduction, kind of a bit of a spoiler if you haven't seen it, with the introduction of this new emperor, it puts kind of a weird twist on the whole aspect of darkness being taken because of something being taken away, which is what the shadows do to create the darkness. This whole aspect of shining is it's weird, but I do kind of see it's very minute, getting back on topic. It's very minute, but I can kind of see the hint of a story forming. And I have a feeling that it's going to revolve around these five, the original five, and their home. The first 3 or 4 episodes, or well, maybe the first two, really honed in on this tree, that they went to as when they were kids. And all through the entire series, so far, they've been having memories of the past when they were kids in their hometown and at this tree. So something to me tells me that in the end, I mean, of course we know this is going to happen, but the feeling that I have is that by the end of it, the main story is going to turn into their hometown being the final battlefield, and whatever the outcome is, depending upon who wins, which we all know who's going to win,
Or
is
do
going
we?
to. I wonder who. Is going to basically what results in the revival of their hometown.
I actually think that's a really. I didn't think of that, but I actually think that's a really good idea, and that's one of the things that I've latched on to with ToQger is that I'm kind of on the side of frogs or whatever you want to call the guy.
Frogs.
Frogs.
Yeah, CJ called me by my real name, and I was like, oh crap.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Okay.
Yeah,
His name's Frogs.
yeah.
He goes
Ribbit.
Ribbit.
that was my line. I had just said that. You stole my thunder literally a second before I was gonna say it. Gosh darn it, you are
Whoever
too
gets to
quick.
it first.
Anyways, back to what I was saying.
Roll.
Goodness. But with ToQger, I kind of agree with Frogs. That's kind of it's not really you don't necessarily know if it's like a really good show, really to love or hate it, because it does have its weird moments and it's a really weird show, but it also has some very endearing things about it. And it's not like really any Toku that I've really seen. It does take some unique approaches by really focusing on the town and the memories of these people and kind of in that sense. That was actually, I know we're kind of going into a different route, somewhat of a different route, but I was actually watching recently the ToQger versus Gaim special, and that even that special itself, even though I know there are a lot of people that are kind of mad on it, I actually really liked it because both in the ToQger centered part and then the Gaim centered part, there was this idea of towns and the idea kind of what towns represent, especially when they're using that parallel with like Zawame, while Gaim actually has a specific town that's being invaded and stuff and all these things are going on, the ToQgers are trying to search for a town. So I really like seeing that parallel and kind of how Gaim and ToQger, even though they're very different series and they have very different tones, in a sense, kind of oddly fit together. In a sense.
They're both weird.
And I'm sorry to cut anybody off, but I just had a weird thought.
What?
And it would be interesting to think, and this is just the way my mind works, it would be interesting if it wasn't for the fact that Gaim is going to end before ToQger does, it'd be interesting to to find out that Zawame is actually the city that they are from. But because their tree got cut down, the tree that Mai and Kaito
That theory has
are
been
talking
around
about.
since the crossover.
I didn't hear that theory. Oh my god.
Alright. I think, CJ, you done?
I'm done.
Alright. I'm gonna take the reins here and just say,
No problem.
who broke my girl? Who broke Kobayashi?
Yeah.
Serious.
Go Busters broke Kobayashi.
Who broke my girl?
She's right there in therapy.
Takebe broke Kobayashi.
I mean, we have the writer for Gingaman, Time Ranger, Ryuki, Deno, Shinkenger, O's, and not even that. I mean, you go and look at her anime credits, and you have Witchblade,
Attack on
Claymore,
Titan, Attack on Titan,
Passion
Attack on Titan.
No. You mean Shingeki no Butthole. That's what you mean.
Oh!
Bad,
Oh, no!
Bad frog.
Okay, so the only thing that I can figure is either she just wanted to screw with our minds, for everyone that loves these stuff. Either she wants to screw with our minds, or she's just done.
Yeah, she's done. Go Busters destroyed her. That's what my opinion is. Go Busters she's like, Go Busters was so terrible in my opinion that it's just like...
Can I just have some input on the whole thing with Kobayashi?
No problem.
When I first saw the news, that was actually one of the things I was really worried about, and one of the reasons why I originally wanted to turn down on ToQger. Because seeing as how Go Busters are now, I felt it would be the same way, and I'm going to be perfectly honest, I am kind of enjoying ToQger. I mean, I think it has its faults and it could be better, but I do enjoy it regardless, although I do wonder why, Toei... I mean, I think Utsunomiya is fine as a producer, but I'm just wondering why they couldn't have hired, more experienced pros, maybe Arakawa, guy who did Gokaiger, Urasawa, guy who did Car Ranger, Shimoyama, man who's doing the Kikaido movie and also secondary role for Gokaiger, Go Busters, wrote the Go Buster V Cinema, also wrote secondary episodes of Ghost.
Yep, a lot of... Yeah, there are a lot
more. So, they could have hired those guys, or even Junko Komodov for that matter. So, but they had to pick Kobayashi, just because they wanted to, imitate the success of Shinkenger by
Well, I think
exactly
that's-
copying it.
Well, no, I don't think they're exactly copying it. I honestly, and this is what I was thinking originally when I saw ToQger and I saw what route they were going to take with it, that even though, yes, the Shinkenger team is back, I think ToQger is a completely different beast from Shinkenger. Shinkenger is a lot different, is a lot more serious, you could say.
Thomas. When you're done, can I also have some input on this? Because
sure, of
I
course, no
understand
problem.
what you're saying there in terms of tone, but if you really look deep into it, like you can, and I also want to give credit to Stacey Louise Farrell for pointing this out, aka Fire in Heaven. If you're watching this, I'm crediting you because I also agree with this as well. Like you can see a lot of similarities. Like most of the character archetypes, except Right and Tokyo 6 are Shinkenger like. Some of the plot lines and even episode structures are Shinkenger like. But if you watch Shinkenger and then you watch ToQger and you really look closely at them, you can see it. Like 11 and 12, both of them involve, Red being separated from the team, or
And support
you could say
Mecha.
the beginning episodes, like episode 5 is when they get their mechas, first auxiliary, and I mean, like, there are other comparisons I can make. Like, I know, Thomas, that, ToQger is a completely different beast because it's trains and it's more lighthearted, and you're samurais, it's more serious, especially with its Japanese Edo theme, but, if you really look deep into it, there are some similarities, believe it or not, and...
I do agree with that. There are some similarities, but at the same time, the differences are what make them are obviously, I'm just going to state the obvious, are actually what makes them very different. The main thing being the fact that their tones are very, very different. I mean, look at Shinkenger. This is kind of taking it back, but Shinkenger was very deathly serious. I mean, if you watch the first episode, you see people getting killed. I mean, not injured, straight up killed, thrown off bridges that do not get saved, and we see people getting almost attacked in ToQger, but they don't die.
Yeah, and I think that's why I think Kobayashi, for two reasons. That's why I think Kobayashi may not be necessarily completely on our A game, is for two reasons. One, and with the Shinkenger team, I was thinking Shinkenger team. If the Shinkenger team is on there, they're probably going to do just as good as Shinkenger, and that's why I was so ramped up for ToQger. But then after I started watching it and getting into it, eventually I realized that ToQger, the direction that they were going, is a completely different beast from Shinkenger. So
It just hasn't gotten entirely dark yet. I see some darkness in there in ToQger. I don't know if you guys can, but I see some slight dark. But it just hasn't gotten as dark as Kobayashi plans it to be, I'm assuming.
Well,
I wouldn't use the word dark for... the most I would go would probably be maybe serious, like if we're gonna go to Shinkenger, like that's just what I'm saying, like
well, for me, what I see here is not Shinkenger, because what I see when I watch ToQger is I see Den-O. I see so much of Den-O coming out here.
I can kind of see that too.
But the difference between Den-O and ToQger here is Den-O still has its silliness, but it gets kind of dark sometimes. But it bounces back really quick. Here, there are moments in ToQger where they go beyond just dark into straight-up horror. I don't remember if anyone remembers the chain shadow with the coffin.
Oh, God!
Yes.
Like, when we first, like, when I first saw him, I was watching the episode at like 9 at night with the lights off. And it scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Just for the simple fact, it's like okay, going off of that without repeating anything, I do have a feeling, not a bad feeling, a good feeling, but I have a feeling that if this person decides to have any sort of say in what is going to happen with, if it's going to have anything similar to Shinkenger. With this being only episode 17 that we are into for ToQger, there is still 33 more episodes to go that this could turn extremely dark. I mean,
it can pull a gun. It can pull a gun.
Oh, yeah.
I think what also is going on is because in some episodes, keep in mind I'm slightly behind here, but from what I have seen, like one episode can just be cheerfully happy, but then the next one is just painfully dark. And I think there is a tug of war between the writing team going on right now.
And that's because Kobayashi is trying to I think Kobayashi is trying, and the rest of the team are trying to kind of pull kind of the Shinkenger, because they were used to doing Shinkenger. All of the Shinkenger team is back for this one, so they're trying to kind of put the darker themes.
There's also the fact that some of the Shinkenger team also was there for Den-O.
Yeah, that is true.
And like some of the other stuff, I believe they were also there for. Yeah, Shoji Yonemura was there for O's as well.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, oh wait, no, Yonemura's not there, but there's just it's a lot of the same team working together, and like some of them just really enjoyed working on one show or another, and they want to bring that back. And it's causing this confused personality for ToQger, which is really in one way hurting it pretty bad, because its ratings aren't Go Buster bad, but they're not super great right now.
Yeah, and I think that's been a recurring pattern of Sentai probably since the end of ToQger, do you think?
Because ToQger
that's actually been, according to Fantasy Leader, I believe that's been going on since like Bokenger, the decline in ratings. I mean, there have been some races, but it's been going on, and part of that is blamed on Pokemon. So, yeah. And not having a third Toku for writers to practice on.
Also at the same time, we also have to look in terms of ratings. They're not taking into account, the Americans that are watching this. They're only taking into account the ones that are watching it right then and there when it airs. Not the ones that are watching it when it gets subbed. So,
that they technically can't count those because those are not very legitimate.
No, you are correct. You are very correct in that those aren't legitimate, but at the same time, I think
there are still people watching it.
Yes. I think it's just one of those things where it determines. I guess it's just blah blah. It depends on the person's particular tastes, and the only thing that I can figure is that the Americans are the ones that are happy with it. But maybe the ones in Japan who are seeing it firsthand, I guess ratings have been declining, and I guess kind of at the, kind of getting in, without changing topic, it's going from being kind of a darker series to more of a lighter, carefree kind of thing, with the exception of Shinkenger that I noticed. I could be completely wrong in that. But from everything that I have paid attention to, it seems like since Bokenger, it's taken a more kind of, not really a happy-go-lucky, but there's not as much violence involved as there is until you get to Shinkenger, and then after Shinkenger, that all goes away again.
I want to hear Bohan's opinion on
yes.
ToQger.
Yeah, you can buddy.
Yeah, well, I'm just letting you guys talk, so...
Oh, he's wearing the Gaim shirt. I just realized it. He's in cosplay right now.
Anyways, with ToQger, I don't know, right now I think they're just more focused on hitting their demographic, it's just, kids. around like probably 5 to 8,
Mhm.
and they're trying to not make it too dark where it's scary. I mean, we do see some episodes like that coffin episode
Yeah.
that Vault mentioned, and but it turned out to be pretty lighthearted in the end, if I remember correctly. And then there was that really great episode with Wright, like him and like food being taken away from him.
Oh
which was
yeah,
pretty
I love
hilarious.
that one. He
Yeah,
tortured that
that's
guy.
yeah. He just tortured the monsters. Like
The
it's like, okay, I'm
shadow.
gonna tie you up and I'm gonna eat in front of you so you can suffer like all these other people suffered when you took their food. So I enjoyed that episode. But my overall opinion of ToQger is that I don't know. It's really indecisive for me. Just because like I went in not expecting much from it, just because okay, we have this train themed Sentai and it's all about imagination and whatnot. And I'm like thinking, okay, this is gonna be really kiddie. But when they brought in that whole like sort of mystery of how they have amnesia and stuff, and they have a past that they don't even know about themselves. That really, I don't know, that really piqued my interest. But I'm not really seeing much of that mystery like being reviewed as like we're watching the episodes, and that's kind of like
Agreed.
that's kind of like bringing me down a bit, and I don't know, it's making me less interested in watching ToQger.
I can kind of see their point. They're wanting to draw it out to where it holds more interest across the board, but at the same time, they've got to, I guess, to keep the interest there. They've got to somehow draw not necessarily draw it out, but give us little tidbits more than what they've already given us. Just because having these little itty bitty pieces every 3 episodes, it doesn't really do well. I mean, every time
Yeah.
that they bring something about that involves their past, that makes the series, oh, okay, glimmer of hope, and then 2 episodes in, 2 episodes after that, they never talk about it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, like they did do some of that. You get a little bit of pieces from their like past in like the first few episodes, and then all of a sudden they just stop doing that, which is odd.
My theory is okay, so you know how they showed that one time, that one small clip of their town being destroyed, and then they all of a sudden appeared on the train. So my
Yeah.
theory is they never grew up, they're still kids. And by the end of the show, they're going to turn back to the original forms, which is their kids. So, they're just imagining themselves as adults, because all the flashbacks we've seen, we've only seen the few flashbacks of them as kids next to that tree. We haven't seen any of the flashbacks as them as teenagers or anything else, just as kids.
Yeah,
So-
most likely they like fell off the tree. They're all in a coma of some kind, and they're all having the same dream and whatnot.
No, I think it's all really
I wouldn't
happening.
say dream.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say dream. I would say that it's actually happening.
Yeah, it's all happening. The Shadow Line just took over their town, and their imaginations were so strong, they imagined themselves onto the train as adults.
This is who knows? Right now, like you said, we're like what 17 episodes in.
Yeah,
Yep.
the show is just really confusing.
This is we're probably gonna get it like Has Orange showed up or?
Yeah.
Yes.
TV shows up.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm like 3 episodes behind.
I'm at
Ooh.
of episode 17.
I think that sooner or later he's either gonna bring in a major bit of that story or lead to it.
Oh,
I think around the 20 to 25 mark, we might get a more of that.
Right now, and I seem to be doing a lot of talking here, and I do apologize for that.
It's
But
okay.
it's still too early to tell. A theory that I had, and it eventually proved to be wrong. A theory that I originally had is that this, Emperor Zed is who was actually going to become, Tokyo Orange or Tokyo Rokugo. that was the original theory I had, just for the simple fact, he has such a high affinity for shiny things. But that one proved to be wrong. But at this point, there are so many different ways that the series could go. It could go that they are adults in reality, but they kept their childlike imagination, hence why they're on the trains. Or it could turn into, they're actually kids, and because of their strong imagination, when the shadow line came through, they got whisked away to the rainbow line, and their imaginations just turned them into adults until they can free themselves. There's many different possibilities that this could go, and I think right now it's probably too early to tell. So it's probably just it'd probably be a good idea, if nothing else, to have possibilities in mind, but at the same time, don't say, okay, this is the way it's going to happen. This is the way it's going to happen. Leave it open for change, because I've been known to do that myself. Say, oh, this is the way something's going to happen. This is the way. Oh, this has got to be the way this is going to end. It's the only way it could end. And then I find out, nope, that's not it.
It's happened to me so many times. You would not believe. Not just with Toku.
Here's some change. They're all dead. None of this is actually happening.
There you go.
Okay, look here, Frogs. You and I are gonna have to go behind the boathouse, and I'm gonna have to beat you up with the battle stick. Okay, that's the running joke between me and a coworker.
You need me to help you, CJ?
Oh God, he's got everything next to him.
All right.
Okay.
All right, that's. I think I'm gonna call that the segue. Or should we talk Kyoryuger
Let me just say one last thing about ToQger, and then we'll go on to the one I'm really wanting to talk about. But with ToQger, what keeps me going with ToQger are really, as you guys said, the possibilities, and that there are so many different ways this could go, and that it really is too early to see in which direction it's going to go, unlike the next thing we're doing, which... But...
we have talked about somewhat.
Yeah,
already.
Which we have, but either way, point being is that ToQger, it's interesting, and even though I was excited to see the Shinkenger team back, I honestly think that it's a very different beast from Shinkenger, and I'm somewhat looking forward to see how it's going to work out, but for the current time being, I don't necessarily know what's going to completely happen, so anything could honestly happen at this point. It's too early to tell, but hey, possibilities are good. Imagination. Let's be the conductor here. It's working. This is what the conductor is doing to us. This is the conductor's plan.
Imagination.
Not audition.
Alright, so now that we're off of ToQger,
now let's finally get on to the real meat of this. Yes.
Yes, Gaim. Okay, can I please start this one?
Kamen Rider Gaim.
No, can I start, and then CJ, I will let you take the reins.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me just do one quick thing. I've always wanted to do this. Time to cut through.
Play on the fidget. Okay.
I love this thing so much. There we go. Now I'm ready. Okay. Gaim, I'm just gonna say, there's only one word to truly sum up Gaim, in my opinion. That's just amazing, 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 amazing. Gaim is just
multiple words, not one.
Well, idea. But yeah,
it's multiple repetitions of the same word.
Yes, so it still counts as the same word, but still, Gaim is just amazing, in my opinion. To kind of just, I'll put my opinions very brief and short, because I want to let everyone else kind of take the reins, and then I'll kind of help piggyback and help, because this is not just my podcast.
Oh, Iksa. Ready.
No. Go ahead. I'm just holding this here as Brett.
Anyway, but anyways, what I'm thinking is with that Gaim, it started off kind of slow for me because it didn't have as much focus and really where it wanted to go. But it really, once we hit probably the episode 10 and 11 mark, and we really saw what was going on and all the different things. Like once we got through the first arc,
then that's where really things started to get really interesting, and all of these different plot points kept coming up. And I just think the show is very interesting. It has very good themes and characters, even though Gen Urobuchi, aka the Earl Butcher, as I will call him, is very, Urobuchi-ish, because if you guys...
I'll comment on that when I get there.
Okay, yep, I'm gonna save that for him because, yeah, I'm only gonna say one word, Madoka Magica, and we'll get to that in a
That's
little bit.
2 words.
That's 2.
Gosh darn it! 2 words,
Okay.
Madoka Magica. Either way, but anyways, Urobuchi, despite the fact that he is the Uro Butcher himself, I think his writing is very good. I think the characters are well developed. I love all of the characters from a writing standpoint, though from a moral standpoint, there are a few characters that I want to squash like a freaking grapefruit. I did that intentionally, by the way.
Yep.
But...
Oh, Volt.
oh, Walt, dude.
All right, I must say
you
this
get
is
the
officially
idea.
awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, even though I want to squash a couple people's heads like grapefruits, I honestly think that the writing is good, the characters are really well developed. There's a lot of really good religious allegory, which I think we'll get to, which I think Volt, I actually was talking with Volt last night before this podcast about a couple theories, so you can mention that when you get to your part, Volt, and that there are a lot of different really cool things about the show, and it's such an interesting show, and every episode and every little fight and every little piece has a purpose to it, and it really informs a very good world. And I don't know what to say. It's hard to really exemplify how awesome I think Gaim is, and right now it's my favorite Rider series so far. I don't know what direction it's going to take soon, but whatever direction it'll take and whatever happens, I'm honestly looking really forward to it. So I will let CJ and Volt and the rest of the guys go off on their tangents. So CJ, I will start with you, my friend. So go.
Okay, so the first thing that I have to say about Gaim, I honestly had no idea how in the heck this series was going to turn. Because, like Thomas mentioned, the first 10 episodes, all we see the characters being introduced, and we see all the writers pretty much being introduced all at the beginning, with the exceptions of the ones who get the energy or the Genesis driver. So the problem that I was seeing at first was we have all these characters being introduced already. Kota, Kaito, Michi, all of them being introduced in such a short amount of time, which is very uncommon from what I have gathered from most other common writers, in that, it's usually like many episodes in. And then 2, the storyline. I had no idea how the story was going to go, because for the first 10 episodes, I'm looking at this like, okay, is it just them taking fruit, turning it into this little lock, and having these battle with these little creatures from some other parallel universe?
Don't forget
What
the
is the
dancing.
deal? And
Don't
it
forget the
wasn't,
dancing.
and it wasn't until episode 10 that really the story, 10 or 11, that the story hit home. Until this point, I, honest to God, had no idea how this series was going to go. I seriously thought, okay, this is going to be one of the worst Kamen Rider series that I have ever watched. And I have seen some pretty bad ones, I was thinking Gaim is going to be, oh my God, this is going to be the worst. This is going to go down the crap chute.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, complete
The
180.
entire thing just kicked the
Yeah.
start.
And then I have seriously watched this series with my mouth on the floor, because every time that you think you figured it out,
They throw a curveball at you, curveball after curveball after curveball.
Gotta love the curveballs.
Yep.
It's just one of those things where if you think of it like a book, the way that an author once explained a couple of scenes in a book that I bought of hers, there's going to be scenes in it where you're going to read it and you're going to want to throw the book halfway across the room because you're not going to expect it to happen. Think of Gaim as this kind of book. You're going to want to throw this book multiple times, let me tell you.
Well, I think that's kind of in part with the fact that we have Urobuchi writing this. This is the very first time he's ever written a tokusatsu. He mostly writes anime, and most of his series never really even hits the 26 episode ceiling. He writes stuff in the like 8 to 13 episode margins, and so I think there was an interview with him, I believe, where they asked him why is Gaim's pacing this kind of weird way, and it's to help fit in with his storytelling way. So he puts them in blocks. Like the first 10 to 11 are like the Beat Writer arc, and then after that you have the War with Yggdrasil arc.
Yeah, the Yggdrasil arc, and
now we're in the Overlord arc.
There's the Helheim, and then Overlord. Now we're in the Forbidden Fruit saga. We're in the Forbidden Fruit arc.
Yeah, and it's very much how he writes. But and this is the thing that you let me save, and Urobuchi being a part of this as the writer is both a great thing, but also one of the show's biggest goddamn detriments, because if you've seen Magica Madoka and you're watching this, you're waiting for the Madoka moment to happen.
Yeah.
You're waiting for someone to go through the most gruesome, horrible death possible.
Honestly.
Well, we've partially seen the most horrible death. I mean, spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't seen it, Mr. Sid, he gets...
Yeah.
I remember that. Bohong and I literally watched that episode for the first time together. And
before that we had Hase.
That was pretty
that
bad.
was sad.
That was sad. But the second one was the worst.
Where it was revealed to Kota that he was Yuya's murderer. Like, that was also very
that was a big
eye-opening
reveal
episode.
in what was it, 13 or 14, do you think, 14. When that was?
14.
Yeah.
I don't quite remember, but and well, how to put this? Well, I'm really sure that Urobuchi hasn't written Tokusatsu. I'm really sure that he's watched some past ones, because some of the things going on with the story, especially the Kiwami Lockseed, really give me flashbacks to Blade and O's.
Yeah, even the first episode pays homage to a lot of the previous series.
When I started rewatching Gaim, and I started seeing Ryuki because of all the writers. First episode I saw freaking Fies because of Yggdrasil and Smart Brain, and then I'm seeing everything else. Like, it's just crazy. The Overlords are the Grongis from Kuga.
Yeah, but for me it's mostly I won't like say what happens, but it's especially the case when it comes to homaging Blade a bit, because of what's happening to him because of the Kiwami seed.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like that with paying homage to O's as well.
Yeah. Both of them are in a way paying homage to Blade, because this is what's happened with King Form. Because King Form causes pain and misery that happens to Kenzaki, and it's and it all like smacks you in the face when you get to the end of Blade. I won't say what happens, but for those who have seen Blade, you know what I'm talking about.
I know
what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna have to see Blade now. I'm gonna have to watch.
Me too.
Yeah, somebody spoiled it for me. I immediately forgot about it, but somebody spoiled it, and when it sounded pretty bad. The ending.
Oh, it's like when you start Blade, Kenzaki is a happy-go-lucky guy, but when When it's
No,
over.
he's not very happy in the first episode. Like at the end of it, he's like, oh, it's like
Yeah, no, but
I'm
like
getting betrayed.
Yeah,
Throughout
I've at least seen the first episode.
throughout the middle of the series, he's kind of a cheerful guy, but by the end, he is so changed. Like he's been through a horrible war.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing
Well.
that in Gaim, but I love Gaim because of one. I love the Warring States period. It is
Same here.
one of my favorite eras of Japanese history. But I have to give props to any show that can take a concept as fucking ridiculous as this and run at max speed without giving a single damn
Yeah.
about what other people
That's-
think.
Yeah.
Especially with Noah, or gosh darn it, why did I say Volt? My apologies. I'm sorry, Volt.
Who's this Noah? What? Is there someone behind me?
No, there's no one behind you, Volt. There's no one behind you. Roll with the punch.
I can actually agree with that theory just because, you know, I was trying to figure out how in the world they were going to make fruit a changing thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, what I was gonna say.
I'm sorry, it's just,
Right
but
there.
it's kind of tied in with a religious allegory.
Yeah,
Because-
that's really the big thing that I love so much about Gaim is how they really tie in the religious allegory and how they can take all of these different elements, fruits, breakdancing, warring states period, castle towns, corporate business, economic things, all of these different themes and things that are like literally a fruits basket.
Way to break stuff. No,
Fruits basket and
if
put it
if,
all together and make it work. And they used that by the religious allegory, which was Urobuchi's idea. And Urobuchi said that, like, I found an interview with Urobuchi saying that Takebe just gave him the idea of fruits and to have him just run with it. And he had, like, over a year to plan all of this out and plan how all of it was going to work. And eventually he thought of the idea of using the religious allegory. And for the concept and for the themes and the different things that are going on with the show, it really, really works. And I love how the religious allegory is tied in the show and how they can turn the religious allegory of a story that is very old and be able to make it their own and put it into a context, into a theme that really works within it. And Noah, I'm going to hand off to you because that's what you were going to mention.
Yeah,
so I want to hear your
for
thing.
those who are wondering what we mean by the religious allegory, the story that they're using here is the Forbidden Apple, the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, all of that. And there is a very subtle hint at everybody's roles in this. But there's one that you notice very early on, and it's the very first encounter between Sagara and Ryoma, when Sagara explains the fruit of knowledge to Sengoku Ryoma. And that is, Sagara is wearing a snakeskin jacket.
Oh my god.
You know, I did not notice that until now.
I
Okay.
didn't either.
So, Sagara is the snake of the Garden of Eden.
That changes everything.
Well,
And-
now,
That's really clever.
well, okay, but now let's look at it from this aspect. Look at how many times Sagara has actually helped Kota. Yes, looking at that aspect, you know, you would think, you know, hey, you know, he's a Kota aside, you would think, okay, yes, Sagara is the snake, you know, comparison to in the Book of Genesis. But then at the same time, look at how many times he's helped Kota. I mean, and if you know, not saying that any, you know, not knowing what everybody's religious aspects are, but in the Book of Genesis, the snake is pretty much only out to do damage, and it seems like in a way, I guess I can kind of see it that, you know, he's out to do damage to Helheim, to bring about their destruction so that humanity can live. Then at the same time, looking at it from from another aspect, he's trying to help. He's trying to help Kota along. So I guess in one aspect, he's like the snake of one world, but the savior of another. If you kind of look at it, I mean, it's hard to interpret it.
I do kind of see that, but there is one part of Sagara helping that isn't as apparent. Sagara only comes in to help when Kota is throwing the towel in, when he's quitting, when he's not going according to Sagara's plan now. He gave him the Tulip Lock vehicle when him and Baron were shoved out of Helheim. We got Kachitoki when after the thing in the Yggdrasil Tower between him and Takatora, and then it's this final moment where he's offering the Kiwami Lock Seed that is just like, no, he is the snake of the garden because he keeps Kota coming back.
Okay, I can see it that way. He's bringing about the destruction of Helheim Forest, which is the allegory to the garden. Okay, now I'm putting two to two together. Okay.
Yep. But,
sorry, brain fart.
Yeah, but it's everybody. Yeah. It's that, but what I really, really like about Gaim most in particular is its characters. Even well, except for one, and I'll get into him in a moment. But I think my current favorite guy right now has to be Zack the Knuckle Man.
Yes.
I love boxing heroes.
What did I miss?
They probably just need to make an entire Kamen Rider series of nothing but boxing and strict martial arts. Have one particular who's focused in karate and one who's focused in jujitsu and one in Muay Thai. I mean,
and Taekwondo and etc.
That'd make all of us happy,
Yeah, but yeah. The one I'm really not digging is the one everyone's probably not digging that much these days, which is poor Michi.
Hold it. Give me a moment. Give me a moment.
Poor Michi, what you talking about?
No, the thing about Michi is that we love to hate him. That's the thing. That's what makes him so great. We love to hate him.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it's not even that I love to hate him. For me, he's starting to very, very painfully drag the show down, kicking and screaming, and
that's what makes him so good.
Okay.
In a bad way.
I do see that point, because from what I can remember from the interview, and if I can find the interview again, I will post it in the little chat thing here, and we can get it put up on the thing. But he flat out said that what he was afraid of when they told him that his character was going to take this downward spiral was that he was going to have these kids come up that have been watching Gaim, and they were going to absolutely, they were actually going to absolutely despise him, which I think a lot of people would have expected to have happen. He was thankful that it didn't happen, but at the same time, there was the risk. And I'm not sure, I couldn't tell you what that all's doing with the ratings, but I do see your point, Volt, in that, with this complete 180 change that he's doing, I mean, not only is it's dragging the show, it had a steady pace, and now it's being drugged down. Like, the pace is starting to really, really slow down, because now it's just strictly focusing on his betrayal. which the betrayal happened a while back, but now it's just slowed down to a grinding halt, pretty much.
I'll be right back. I have to use the restroom.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
by the
geez,
way,
man.
DJ,
Unprofessional.
trust me, I just did the same thing, and I didn't even say I was going to be right back. You can call me the unprofessional one.
Nah, but
By
it's
the way,
and with that interview, I completely understand that. There was actually for a good while, if you guys didn't know about this, Takeru Shiba's actor just didn't want to be Takeru anymore
Yeah.
because
I
people
remember hearing about
hated
that.
him.
I loved him. He was really good.
He was good, but it's just the character overall was such a, in a way, a jerk.
Yeah.
Well, he had to play this high and mighty type of character. That's why he's
Well, yeah, and it's tied to his character and what ends up happening later on, but just a lot of people didn't know that.
By the way, CJ, guys, check the chat. I think you're going to like what I just sent.
Yeah, I saw the interview there.
The interview. Yes.
Yep, I found it.
All right, I will go through that later, but
I just wanted to just give that to you guys. But either way, continue what you were guys saying.
Yeah, it's just I can completely understand that fear because you don't want to be such a hated character that you just don't want to be that character anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be either.
People like Kenzaki's actor, Shoto's actor, they love being their characters because they just get so much love when they make public appearances. And when your character is so vividly hated, I believe there was an interview with Tendo's actor, where at first he hated being Tendo, but down the road he just kind of learned to love it. He was like, I want to be a jerk.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people hate Takeru Shiba. I mean, I love that character. He had this very, I don't know, stern personality, as you could say.
Well, it's also, again, due to the role he has to fulfill due to the story.
Yeah.
But anyways, kind of getting back onto Gaim.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm all I can really say is when it comes to Michi, my kind of personal opinion of how the show is going to go is I don't think Michi's going to make it to the end of the show.
Oh no, he's going to be the kid.
I just hope that I cry at the end of Gaim.
I hope I do too. I wanna be invested in my characters. Even if I cry, I would rather cry at.
Yeah. Likewise.
This, in my opinion, this also is the best writer since Double.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you don't want to say to me. Because...
Except for Noah. Noah thinks he's the best writer since O's.
Well, I love O's. I love O's with a undying passion, and I just knocked my ranger keys down. Count the medals 1, 2, and 3, everybody. Wrong order. Gosh darn it! What I just did.
I do love O's also.
Now, see, I'm personally a fan of Wizard. I actually think that the storyline with that one was pretty good, but that's just a personal. Thing.
Okay, hold it, CJ, hold it.
No.
Aww. I want to shoot something. Michi made me angry. I want to shoot something.
I'll get the stick.
Fine.
No.
I take it you didn't like Wizard.
I couldn't finish Wizard. Like I got to about a few episodes after Infinity showed up, and I was just so bored, and the only reason I kept coming back to the show was Beast, and I could tell that the way the story was about to go was we were going to have a whole bunch of wizard focus and very little Beast.
Okay, I do see your point. Okay, I'm open to that, but it's one of those things. It's a personal thing. I mean, I love O's. Don't get me wrong, love O's.
Oh yeah, no.
My thing is, I've always had a high affinity towards magic. I've always loved stuff about magic. So the fact that they actually, they had already had, the one, they had Magi Ranger, so they already had the magic-based Sentai. The fact that they actually created a magic-based Kamen Rider, that made me happy. I was ecstatic. So
Pew pew pew.
Yeah, I'm still watching. Actually, no, not still. I've started rewatching O's, and I'm noticing new things. And I don't know if we have time to go over this, but it's like if you rewatch O's and pay attention to the personality of the greed, each one of them represents the 7 deadly sins.
Oh no, that's cool.
Yeah,
I didn't think about that.
Neither did I, honestly. I just
because Gamble, he ate so much, so.
Yeah,
Well, he
definitely.
sleeps more, so he would be sloth.
Sloth.
He's lazy. But a
Yeah.
great example, 2 examples would be Uva and Kazali. Uva represents envy because he really is envious of everybody.
And then Kazadi is pride.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then who's Glutton?
Onk.
Are you
Because he wants
serious?
everything.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Mezzul is, what is it? Mezzul's lust, if I'm correct?
Mezzul's lust, the orange greed, Raja is greed. And then the purple
Purple's wrath.
is wrath, and that's everybody.
Yeah.
Wait, what about Gamel? What about Gamel, the rock
Sloth.
one?
Sloth.
Oh, Sloth. Oh, you just mentioned that. Duh.
Sleepy.
Yep.
Just like,
I could probably
like
just do
the-
this right about now.
Nah.
My brain is literally shot. This is what
I'm going to stop talking and let other people talk about Gaim so we can get to talking about Kyoryuger.
So, what did
Yeah.
everyone think about? What everyone else specifically think about Gaim? Now
Love
that
it.
me and CJ know of Battle.
Yeah, I love Gaim. The story is really great. Characters are really well developed. There are characters that you love and hate. There are characters that, stand out really well. So yeah, and like the whole samurai theme with Gaim's suit is, I'm really digging that. So
I'm just dying. I'm gonna get my charger. I'll be right back.
Speaking of, what does everyone, just random thing, what about Gaim? What does everyone think of the suit designs? And the idea of the arms?
I love
and stuff?
them.
I
The
love them
suit
too.
design, honestly, it's very versatile. I mean, it makes it to where the suit itself is able to be interchangeable with each fruit. So you have orange. Things just work well in terms of switching to a new arm. Well, until you get to Suika, that thing just eats you alive.
Episode 34, Jonochi for the win, for the freaking win.
Oh yeah, during tossing around. The Bravo. Sorry.
Boing, boing.
There is one suit flub that I sadly am a little angry about. And
Okay.
it happens in the crossover movie with Wizard, where they have the rider lock seeds for the Heisei riders before them, and that is, why did you not give Zangetsu the O's lock seed?
Why is
Why
is
Taka? Because his name's Takatora.
Yeah, Takatora.
Ah! Okay, Taka, Tora, Basta. Okay, you know, I've actually wondered that. You know, it's actually been here recently that I've thought about that. It's like, you know, wait a minute. His name is Takatora. And then I was recently actually playing with the O's driver, and I had actually swiped the basic form. And it's like, Tato. And it's like, Taka, Tora, Bata. It's like, wait a minute, hold up. So does that mean that Takatora is a bird tiger?
You know what? You know what I've seen? I've seen pictures. Okay.
Or a bird lion?
Hold on one moment. Let me go to Tumblr for a sec. There's something you guys need to see.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Is it the
I
one
remember
Pulling
that
up
show.
Tumblr.
I've seen
Is it the one where he introduces himself to Kota and he's like, my name is Takatora, and he goes, Bata?
No, not that one.
Oh no! Oh man.
Hold on. You guys can talk, but I'm just gonna look this whole thing up because I'll find it. Oh, I found it. I just found it. I'm gonna send you guys the URL to this. You guys are gonna love this.
So, if you guys haven't noticed, Sebi's like asleep.
I noticed that a long time ago.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I just didn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
I did not mean to be rude.
Debbie, everyone, look at what I just sent. Look at the picture I just sent.
I've seen that.
All right, hang on. I'm gonna fix it so people can see this when it.
Oh, you want me to screen share it? I'll screen
No,
share it.
I'm already working on that. There you go, folks.
Yes.
This is what they're. This is. My God.
Tora, Bata.
Tatoba, tatoba, tatoba.
Booga booga.
Oh, Bakamon! I love that moment in episode. Okay, let me go back to Gaim because
Yes,
you just
we're
got
on a
me
tangent.
thinking of something.
Yeah, we
There's
just
one
went
thing. There's
way
one
off.
else thing I want to say about Gaim that I'm really liking is most of the time in how serious of a show this is. Sometimes the comic relief would get grating, but honestly, after episode 32, I'm like, I actually enjoy. And I cannot believe I'm ever gonna say this, but I actually legitimately enjoy both Oren and Jonochi. I legitimately enjoy the both of them as characters.
Oh no, they're great. It's,
Oh yes.
It's even Deno's cast got a little grating on me a couple times, but they always bring it back. Oren, and it's mostly Bravo that's doing this. He's mostly the funny man here.
Yes.
Janochi,
Jonochi is essentially Oren's bitch, to be...
well, no.
Am I right, CJ? Am I right?
I played the 5th on this, you know.
I do the same, but there's a comedy term for it, and I forget what it is, but Janochi is basically Oren's partner in the comedy routine. He's the guy who he does the jokes to.
Buddy cop?
Not quite.
No.
I know what you're talking about. I know, I can't think of what the term is, but I know what you're talking about. Because I think the same kind of term is somewhat used in theater in general.
Yeah. But, they're hilarious.
Yes.
Even when the main characters have comedy relief moments, they're absolutely funny to me.
Uh-huh. Well,
Yeah.
what's funny about it is, as you go through the series, you know, at first, you know, Kota is kind of the comedy relief throughout the entire thing. At first, you know, you're like, okay, so not only is he supposed to be the main person, but he's also the comedy relief guy. Then we get introduced to, you know, Bravo and Janochi, and it's just it's a complete paradigm change, because about the time that those two get introduced, the paradigm for Kota goes from being, oh, happy-go-lucky, hee-hee, and just with that big dopey grin, you know, the big... It goes from being that...
Stop. Hold on. Stop. I have to do this. Whenever you mention Kota's grins, I have to do this.
Yeah,
there we go. I'm done.
Anyway, so it goes from him being the comic relief to those two being comic relief. And even with that paradigm shift, it's actually still remained a very good series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my favorite, the funniest scene that I have seen, there are two of the funniest scenes in the show. The two funniest scenes in the show for me were both, no, four actually, but two of them are the same, and then two other ones are different. But you could say technically three parts that are different, three bits. First bit was the one with the other Dongari lock seed, the Bakamon one. That's funny. I've always thought that was funny, and like the one where like in what was it, episode, there was the one 17. I like that one 17, but in 18 it was even funnier with him choosing the wrong one, and then eventually Orange showing up doing his crane kick, and then not only kicks him but then butt slaps him, if I can, butt to face.
I know what you're saying, and great. Now I have to go find an image.
I'm crude sometimes. I'm sorry, but then
No. It's fine.
But then two other moments that are funny involving them is the one where Jonochi had I have to reference Rocky Horror Picture Show here, but I'm just a sweet transvestite. The one where Jonochi is dressing up as the woman and is doing the whole beautiful thing. This is what you call the art of juxtaposition. My favorite is when he's just sitting there. He's just, oh my god.
Oh no! Someone upgraded it.
Oh god. But either way, getting back to what I was saying, what was it? It was the one where, let's see, the, Jonochi was essentially dressed up, curled in the balls like a little, essentially a transvestite, cross-dresser, in orange top, and then two of the other people from Team Invito, the one he's part of, come in, and then it's like, they're just like standing there, and then they leave, and then he starts crying, and then never give up, and the funniest thing about that is the juxtaposition. It's the juxtaposition between never give up being his call phrase, and the fact that he's essentially giving up at that point. Which I think is the point, but I love the juxtaposition of it and how opposite it all is. Irony.
Alright.
And then the last part, and this was a very quick one, but it was on episode 18 again, when after Jimba Arms of Gaim defeated Bravo, and then Bravo went, and then he stabbed himself in the foot. And then he starts whacking, trying to get it out with his own sword. I wasn't expecting that, but I just started cracking up when I saw that.
Yep, I remember that one. I remember that one all too well because that's been recent.
Yeah, that's in 18, wasn't it?
Man.
Something like that.
Yeah, and then the transvestite one was in 25.
Well, that's not transvestite.
Well, not transvestite. You know what I mean.
Cross-dressing.
You know.
Apologies to any transgender.
Transsexual, transgender.
Okay. Apologies.
To anyone of the transgender
community.
Yeah, I am terrible at this whole thing. Trust me, I'm not good with my terminology at all. So
don't worry, Thomas. We'll smack you later.
All right.
No.
I think we're far enough on the.
Yes, we're far enough with Gaim. So essentially, all in all, everyone thinks Gaim is awesome at this point. Awesome, amazing, everything.
Oh yes.
Definitely.
So now let's go on to the one I've been dreading the most to talking about, and I'm just going to do this for the next 10 or 15 so minutes just to make sure.
Man, you're gonna hate listening to me then. This is gonna be fun.
Oh wow.
Okay, so let's talk about the metaphorical elephant in the room of Kyoryuger.
All right, fine. Let's start this off.
Who wants to start? Does anyone want to start?
Volt.
Anyone besides me?
Volt.
Anybody?
Volt starting.
This show is so good. It is possibly one of the best Sentai I've seen in so long. It is so much fun. It knows how to have fun. It knows not everything needs to be dark. That everything needs to be death, murder, and hell. It's so fun, and it has such a great cast. Because the villains are great. The main characters are great. The side characters are great. This is a show that happens once in a blue moon, and it is so good. Never do you have a villain who is so through and through, from start to finish, so good as the Gold, or a ranger as endearing and just energetic as Daigo.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to have to disagree with you guys on this one, actually. Kyoryuger, okay, there's kind of a tipping point between being silly and being comical and having fun, and then being in what Adam West would like to call, if you heard of Adam West Batman, what Adam West would call the theater of the absurd. The theater of the absurd. I love Adam West too.
Batman is awesome. That's the original camp. The original campy Batman.
Off topic. I was just mentioning that, but as Adam West would call it, there's a difference between silly and fun and, campy, and then the theater of the absurd. And I don't know why, but Kyoryuger kind of falls in the precipice of the latter for me. Its villain, okay, the villains aren't too bad, but I don't really like the characters that much, in my opinion. Daigo is essentially Jesus. It is Daigo the show, in my opinion.
I straight up wish I had a glass bottle to just smash over to the table.
I'm with Thomas here.
Do you want to borrow the beat-up cane? I'll let you borrow it.
I have a Muso Saber and a Sengoku driver. I have a prototype version. No one mess with me. Oh. I also have melons.
I have something that tops that on every level.
What? Oh, no!
No one beats Grimjow.
No.
Okay, so I guess kind of cutting in a little bit. Are you through, Thomas?
Essentially, just for me, what ruins the show for me is it just feels like Daigo the show, and it feels like there's so much emphasis put on Daigo as a character, and it feels like he's trying to be very much a Gentaro-ish type of character, if I can really put it that way. And
kind of what he's supposed to be, but it's not entirely focused on him. Like, the stories with Amy are really good.
Yeah.
I think
same difference.
I think my favorite stories, however, are the ones that focus on Uchi.
Agreed. Yes. Especially the beginning when Uchi first gets introduced to the team, and he comes across as very I don't like you. And then Amy finds out he's not he's caring.
He's very timid.
Yes. Okay, so putting in my 2 cents, I disagree with you a lot, Thomas, just for the simple fact that I actually agree with Volt. We see so many dark and gnarly Sentai that stay dark and gnarly through the entire series. I mean, you have ToQger, where it's people invading the planet, and it's pirates that are saving these people. Yes, ToQger was a little campy. Yes, Kyoryuger was very campy. But at the same time, like Volt said, Kyoryuger knew how to have fun. It knew when to be serious, but it also knew when there could be the lightheartedness. I mean, look at the freaking transformation. It involved a freaking dance, okay?
And then that later kind of becomes incredibly important, the whole melody thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it turns out, spoiler alert, it turns out that the dance in the melody thing are entwined with the earth. That's the reason why there is a dance involved in the transformation. I mean, it's very it's a very different twist on how we see Super Sentai. Just for the simple fact that it actually shows that at least this particular Sentai group is very tied to the Earth because of their guardians, aka the Juden Ryu, as well as the melody of the Earth that in the end not only somewhat is involved in the revival of Bragigas, but also the destruction of Debos. So it is a very different thing to deal with when you're so used to dark and all of a sudden you're presented with this light and fluffy looking thing. Because I had the same despair. I was afraid of the same thing. I was thinking, oh God, really? This thing is all nice, happy, fluffy looking. Why in the world am I going to watch this? I watched the first episode and I'm hooked. It was seriously like that. And the character development throughout the entire series went very well. Finding out that, poor No-san, he's an old man at heart. And then,
Hey, that's me, because I cosplayed as No-san this year.
And then you find out that Ian is actually not as much of a womanizer as you want to think, as he originally portrays himself. I'm
sorry, go ahead.
So through the entire series, it seems like it's going to be light and fluffy and happy throughout the entire thing, but there are its serious moments. It does, like the stories with Ami, the stories with No-san, Now, there is someone that I do know who would agree with the aspect that Daigo is the one throughout the entire series who it's focused on. And I do somewhat see it, but at the same time, I don't. Just in the matter of...
see it, but then you kind of don't.
I see it because there does seem to be... There are more episodes focused around Daigo than there are around the others. But at the same time, the way that they space out those episodes makes it like it's not. It's almost... There's a somewhat even balance with a little more focus on Daigo than what there should be, but at the same time, it's hard for me to word the way that it should be correctly worded. But in a sense, put simply, the show works. Okay, yes, there's a little more focus on Daigo, a little, not a lot, a little. So, anyway, go ahead, Bolt.
I mean, the thing about Daigo is, I mean, for goodness sakes, I'm used to this kind. I love this kind of character. I love John from Geki Ranger. He is
Wacky wacky.
Wacky
oh
wacky.
God, he is so wacky wacky.
He's super wacky wacky.
But the other thing is, all of these characters. I mean, as you're watching the show, we'll take Kyoryuger Green as an example. The way he acts, you kind of just get this feeling that there's something wrong with him, or something wrong in his life. And then when we finally have that episode about his dad,
yeah,
it's just it's the episode that is preventing him from stepping forward and like being able to use. I think it's the Trinity Strazer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that.
It's
It's his father's like signature attack or whatever.
Well, no, it was Torian's attack, but he kept trying to like mimic it, and it just never worked right.
I don't think it was 100% his dad. I think it was the fact that his dad was trying to was wanting him to go, to pass on the power of the the dojo, and his mom was so against it. It's the fact that those two were clashing against each other that was causing that problem.
It was he repressed the memory of what happened and what split them apart, and because he felt guilty because when after his mom and dad were fighting, he came to the dojo and found his dad crying, and like that's all I can remember without rewatching the episode. But it's moments like those that are really good. It's and like to those who think Kyoryuger is all light and fluffy, there are moments when that show can go so supremely dark it's spooky. An example of this has to be Endorf.
Yes. Oh, good God, yes.
Oh.
He was a great villain.
When he got we'll just say shuffled off screen after the moment with Carnival, I actually was really upset because I was deeming the end of Endorf to be the show's one big flaw, is they introduced this great villain and then got rid of him so incredibly quick. And then
much to our happiness, they bring him back.
Oh yeah. But I mean, also how many shows have a general villain who's powered by happiness?
Candelera, yeah.
Candelera was great.
Though, you know what
It's just every single one of the characters was just spot on, and that's what I loved about the show. Because to me, a show, its story can only take it so far. Its characters are the other half.
Mm-hmm. The characters are the important part.
Agreed.
The story can be the story can be very elaborate and well written, but if the characters can't move it along, then there's no point to it.
Exactly.
You know what, though?
I mean, that's the same case in theater. You know, you could have an extremely well-written script, but if your players cannot proceed the right way, that play is going to flop. And pretty much television and movies is nothing more than a great big play, if you ask me.
Yep.
I will admit though, there is one episode that has one of the coolest moments I've ever seen in a Sentai, and that was in episode 46, and that was with Ian fighting, if I'm correct, it was Ian fighting Ice Rondo? Ice Rondo after Igaron's death. That was awesome. I loved that.
The fact that Ian pretty much put forth so much power, and he was able to just take him out
exactly. I love that. I was like, yes. That was one of my favorite moments in the entire show. If not, I was just like, holy crap! Ian is a freaking badass. When he is pissed, he will get pissed.
He's great.
But then at the same time, you know, you find out that in that same episode that he actually has great compassion, because why? I mean, if he didn't have compassion, why would he set the soul of Igaron free?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Igaron is his villain. It's his enemy. And he sets it free so that it can live, so that he can pass on to the next life. That's actually a testament to Ian's character. He might pass himself off as a womanizer, you know, oh, I just love women, hey, want a flower. But he's actually very compassionate, and, you know, you don't see that much.
Honestly, I agree with that, and I think that's really, really cool. That is one of the moments in the show where I'm just like, hell yes, this is awesome. And I was that was such an awesome moment for me in the show, just in general. I may not like the show as much, but I will admit, Kyoryuger did have its really, really, really awesome moments. When it had its highs, it really had its highs.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I can definitely attribute that. Maybe I'm gonna probably rewatch it sometime.
I definitely
And
say give it a second run because it.
yeah,
Like what Volt was saying, he was saying that he was rewatching O's and he was noticing new things. You might actually rewatch Kyoryuger and find new things that you didn't realize at the beginning when you first started watching it. So
I definitely agree. So I just think that would be a cool thing that I could be able to do, is to do that. But either way, so now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, let's just sum all of this up before we. Or do you have more to say?
I don't think Frogs or Bohung got to talk.
Did you guys want to say anything, or?
We do apologize.
Sorry for hogging all the runtime.
It's alright. I pretty much agree with what you first said, Thomas, about like Daigo pretty much stealing the show. I mean, I did notice that, especially when after he like got Carnival form or whatever. And so he was basically just taking over the whole show, and like most of the story is like revolves around him too. Him and his dad. We kind of see how that all turns out at the end, and it was a good ending. I enjoyed the ending. I loved No-san. He was a really great character.
Oh, thank you.
Frogs, whatever. But yeah, No-san, he was like one of the better characters out of the other Sentai, or out of the Sentai team. I mean, just because he was entertaining, he was fun to watch, and like Daigo, I don't know, he just, I don't know, it didn't seem like he had any real flaws. He was like, okay, he's like I can beat this monster. I can do all these things as long as I pretty much believe it or whatever.
The show even acknowledges that at some point. Like you have to remember the Kyoryuger episode where he literally says, "You're weak because you're perfect."
Yeah, but he overcomes that. He is perfect.
I do remember that now.
God dang! I want more of Gray's actor.
I actually haven't finished Kyoryuger, and I cosplayed as No-san, and everybody always makes me feel terrible because I really, honestly, haven't even gotten that far in the show. Like, it's because, like an idiot, I started watching too much Toku at once, and I haven't had time to finish a lot of things. I've been trying to focus on like some things I've started. So with Kyoryuger, I only got to episode 5.
Oh!
Wow! I didn't know that.
Wow!
Yeah.
Nope, I got to episode. I mean, I did like it. I liked it for what I saw. Noah's gonna kill me.
Volt's gonna kill you, man.
I mean, yeah.
We need to go back behind the boathouse.
Noah guy.
Yeah, Volt's gonna give me that turn up, and he's gonna hit me with that king form.
Tan Oppu.
Oh god.
Oh, you just reminded me. After the podcast, Volt, I have a meme that I made that I think you would absolutely love. I've made a whole bunch of memes that I think all of you would love, so I'll send those to you after we get done with the whole podcast and everything. But I just want to mention that for the heck of it, because you guys, you just reminded me of one. So,
right.
Anyways, so...
I think that's everybody's opinion, other than Steady.
So, let's... Zebby... I would be if I was a cruel bastard. I would have all of you mute your headphones and me blow into my microphone to wake the guy up.
No.
I'm not gonna do that.
Let him sleep.
I'll let him.
should we remove him since he's sleeping?
You wanna
right
do
now?
that?
It's pretty interesting having him here.
But, okay, so now that we have all that done, before we all do our little shameless plugging, as I like to call it,
I ain't got no plugs. I ain't got no shame.
I have no shame. What you talk about, Willis?
I said shameless plugs.
Does Marcelo
Either
look
way.
like a bitch?
Oh, really?
Anyway.
Again. Anyways, so 2014 as a whole for Superhero Time so far, all the way, like we talked about all three of those shows, overall with the mixing, the mixing, melding, fruit basket, dinosaur train pot that we have, what does everyone think of 2014 as a whole so far?
It's legit.
And so far, it's doing pretty well. I like the way that Kyoryuger ended. I like the way Gaim is going. I'm kind of hoping that ToQger's story will pick up a bit and have that. Oh my God! Why in the world did that happen? Throw the book halfway across the room. So
maybe Kobayashi is just saving her energy. Maybe that's what she's doing. She's maybe just saving all her writing prowess and energy, trying to make us think it's going to go in this direction. Then eventually, right when it goes, it's just going to turn a curve and go completely opposite from what you expect.
Or she's just like getting her anger out.
On the imagination.
Like I think after Go Buster, she might be going through her. I think this is a proper way to put it. Her Inoue phase.
Inoue phase.
Oh my.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah. For those who don't know who Inoue is, the person who wrote Kiva.
And Fies.
Hey, wait a minute. I liked Kiva.
I like Fies.
I like Fies.
I don't like
Fies was good. She also wrote I believe she wrote Agito. Yeah, she wrote Agito.
No, I wasn't feeling that one.
Yeah, he also wrote Jetman. Like he wrote Jetman.
But
I love
the thing is,
Jetman, but
with
Jetman was good.
with recent
I
things,
enjoyed that.
Inoue's been very tropey.
Oh boy.
Just hitting all the trope notes at every single corner. But I just think Kobayashi's going through that phase right now, and she'll bounce back soon.
One
I
can
definitely
hope.
agree. So, what does everyone else think about Superhero Time, or is that really what everyone has to say?
Yeah, it's great.
It's good.
It's going good.
So, now
Thanks
for our
for
little
everything.
shameless plugs, I just want to say thanks for everyone who's been watching, the few people who have and the people who will in the future. And sorry for the thing at the beginning with me thinking of Echo, which is actually the YouTube link, which is maybe an absolute nut job. Won't make a mistake. Make sure to don't put all your eggs in one basket yet, Thomas. But either way, so I'll put all the links for the articles and things down below, and for the links of everyone's doing. So I will promote for both myself and Sebi, since Sebi is out like a.
He's out like a light.
Yeah.
Yes, he's out like a light, but I'm trying to think of a funnier metaphor to use.
He's out like a Hase. Dude, look at him.
He's out like a Hase.
Dude, that's
Good
horrible.
one. That's perfect.
Wow.
That was just what I was looking for. Yep, out like a Hase. Anyways, so I will do his promotions for him, since I know what he'd want me to promote. So I have a Tumblr. I have a blog of my own, which I haven't really updated as much because I've been so focused on because I literally just got into the summer season, so I was just like, I haven't been able to do as many posts there, but soon, hopefully, I will get some reviews up and do some more things there. So I have a blog, I have a Tumblr, and I have a YouTube channel, which I'll put the link in as well, where I'm hopefully near the end of the summer, once Gaim ends, I'm going to be doing video reviews of Tokusatsu, sort of for anyone who's heard of like what is it, Anime Zone or Glass Reflections, Arcada Style. Do you know like anime reviews like GR Arcada? Anyone heard of Glass Reflections or anything like that?
Yeah, I've been watching his stuff.
Kind of a la that style is what I'm looking at. Kind of like that, but with Toku reviews, essentially. That's what I'm going to be doing, and that's the Toku Busters for. So I'm going to put the links for that in the description. You can just follow my Tumblr, and I'll put personal stuff there as well. You know, just my usual stuff. And I have a Facebook page for the Toku Buster as well, so look forward to that. And for Sebi, he has his Otaku Blogger. He has a Tumblr of his own and a blog of his own and stuff like that. So I'll put the links for him down there as well. So be able to do that for both me and for the out like a Hase guy at the moment. So let's see, CJ, do you want to promote anything?
Yes, I do. Whereas Thomas is actually, or if I understand correctly, you're reviewing the actual TV show.
Yes.
Okay, whereas Thomas is actually doing the Toku reviews of the TV show, I actually am doing reviews of the actual products, whatever the ones that I can get. I unfortunately do not get in all the brand new ones right as they come in because of money issues and having to pay off a new car. But I am doing the ones that I do have as of this moment, and will add the ones when I get them. The channel will be added to the description in the descriptions list here, as well as I just created a Facebook page today for this. It's CJ's Toku Reviews on Facebook. You can go and like that, and there's something going to be similarly made on Google+. So like that as well. I would greatly appreciate it.
So let's see then, Mr. Frogs here, what do you have to promote?
Well, like I did at the beginning, Bolhong and I have a YouTube channel called Let's Talk Toku. It is a Tokusatsu talk show. It's not really just a talk show. We also do some pretty fun things on there. We have some stuff that we're all planning to post recently. Right now, we're currently editing like the next 3 episodes, so that will be out for a little bit. So what we do is it's like a talk show, like The View. I guess that is the worst way to put it, by the way.
As long as you don't compare it to Mari, we're okay.
Okay, it's not.
Oh, what?
There's no Toku pregnancy test. Not yet, at least, because I'm not married to Mao Ichimichi, so we're not having.
Mao Ichimichi.
Goodness. We're a talk show. We talk about things and such and things, and it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. Hope you guys have fun watching it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe on the videos. This video, that video, other things. I'm going to give Thomas my YouTube and our Facebook page, and you do the do.
Yep, of course. And let's see, Bo Hong. I still think that's a really weird name, but either way, do you have anything? Did Frogs do your promotion already, or do you have
yeah, pretty much. Let's Talk Toku, and also we have a Facebook group called Seattle Toku Weekends. We basically do stuff locally here in Seattle, Washington.
If you live in Seattle, try and join.
Yeah, we do monthly meetups, and we do like Sunday Google Hangout sessions. So, anyone from Seattle want to join the group?
Hey, you guys in this group right now can also in the podcast. You can join our Google Hangouts. We have some other international people there too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, send us an invite. We'll come in.
Definitely. Right. Awesome.
Yeah.
So let's see. And Volt, you said you didn't have anything?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm not big shots like you.
We big shots. Yeah.
We big shots.
Let me just before we go, I have one last joke I want to get out. I want to hammer this joke in because I think it's too funny.
Oh, look at the little Groudon.
You gotta amuse him.
Did you guys hear all that?
Not really.
No,
Gosh darn it.
You gotta put it next to your mic.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to do, which is hard because the speaker's so darn small.
Sakatora.
It's Takatora.
I would do Bata, but either way. So, anyways, thank you all for joining me, and thanks for everyone who is watching this either right now or who's going to be watching this in the future. And please like, favorite, comment, subscribe, whatever the heck you want to do. Click all the links down below. Go nuts, whatever you want to do.
Sorry
So
for
all the
our
Toku
rambling.
fans-
Yes,
Yes, sorry for
sorry
our
for
rambling.
tangents.
Sorry.
And get more people to come watch it. No,
Yep.
you want.
So,
Do it.
anyways, so
Out on
this
demand
has been Sentai Writers United, and we will be signing out, where we turn off our webcams and everything. So turn off webcams, microphones, and we're done. So,
Later, Johnny.
signing out, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.